Where are we?
And so you come at last.
Cortana, what is it?
We are Forerunners, guardians of all that exists. Humanity stands as the greatest threat in the galaxy. The Forerunners have returned.
The Arc.
Welcome back, everybody, to Rampancy.net. I am Narcogen.
I am Blackstar with special guest Leah.
Whoops.
There she is. Oh, see, now you're doing it the way you're supposed to. It's like, wait a minute. I thought I would give her a heads up because she said she wasn't awake this morning. Please, by all means.
Right, so today we're going to be playing, or rather Blackstar is going to be playing Halo 4, a Halo game I have never played because I stopped playing after Reach. Because I thought the Halo 3 ending was... No, Reach is not my favorite. But I thought the Halo 3 ending for the Master Chief Cortana story was appropriate. I thought it was the best signal Bungie could have sent to 343 and Microsoft to be like, hey, if you really need to keep doing this, you can, but maybe you should think about it again. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to walk away from that.
So I'm going to... I was gonna have a thing where I could put the amount of negative things I say up on the screen, but I couldn't get that to work the way I liked, so I won't be doing that.
You mean the Halo 4 snark page is no
so
more?
I think we have a nice spread of opinion on this game because you're generally in favor of it, and I've never played it, and I'm kind of ambivalent about it. And Leah Crow, as you were mentioning, you were not a huge Halo fan, and you're not aware of this game at all.
Yeah, I stopped after 2, and even then it was kind of But, I'm open-minded, I can accept it being okay.
Now, ideally, you're not going to be getting it in, full 1080p 60 glory, but it still should be pretty enough for you to get an idea.
360 is top for me.
Yeah, for downtown Hawaii.
That's what you're sending, right? 360?
Yes. I'm sending 60 to Narc. Narc's only putting out 30 because there's really no real need to do anything higher than that.
360p 500 kilobits is what you're looking at.
Ooh.
Yeah, that is like luxury resolution right there.
In all its glory. Hey, thanks to the magic that right here at Rampancy.net.
I the test, but the graphics look great.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, as long as you can see in here, I think we should be good. Not so much that I am in favor of the game, because I do believe that Halo 4 and 5 have their problems. But again, I feel that way about every game, because no game is perfect. My pinnacle one will still be the first one, and I love the anniversary version of that because it's pretty graphics on the gameplay I love. 2, I was not a fan, especially the ending. And Halo 3, yes, they did tie it up in a nice, neat little bow, and I definitely appreciate that. And believe me, Narc, you are not alone in your fandom belief that when they wrapped it up,
and 343 trampled all over that bow.
And which is what we're going to do now. So for those interested, yes, we're going to be doing the Rampancy.net playthrough, Blackstar's driving, of Halo 4. And I am going to be starting right from the beginning, but I am going to be doing this on easy. Don't judge. I simply want to get through it. We are not trying to, shall we say,
you can judge.
Demo
just do
our
it silently.
Uber gameplay.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get through this as simply as possible.
Right, and if you convince me that it's that good, I do. Since I own Master Chief Collection on Xbox One, I do own the game technically. So I could jump in, but we'll see.
Maybe we'll do that.
I love how they made the pods look like helmets. Like they all look like the Master Chief's helmet.
Tell me about the children. Dr. Halsey.
You already know everything.
You kidnapped them.
Children's minds are more easily accepting of indoctrination. Their bodies more adaptable to augmentation. The result was the ultimate soldier. And because of our success, when the Covenant invaded, we were ready.
Dr. Halsey, you're bending history for your own favor, and you know it. You developed the Spartans to crush human rebellion, not to fight the Covenant.
When one human world after another fell, when my Spartans were all that stood between humanity and extinction, nobody was concerned about why they were originally built.
So you feel in the end your choices were justified.
My work saved the human race.
Do you think the Spartans' lack of basic humanity helped?
What are you after? The others before you were naval intelligence, but you're something else.
Records show Spartans routinely exhibited mildly sociopathic tendencies, difficulty with socialization, and
The
verbalization.
records show efficient behavior operating in hazardous situations. I supplied the tools to maintain that efficiency.
Do you believe the Master Chief succeeded because he was, at his core, broken?
What does John have to do with this? You want to replace him?
He has a name?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The Master
They all
Chief
have
is
names.
dead.
His file reads missing in action.
Catherine. Spartans never die.
Your mistake is seeing Spartans as military hardware. My Spartans are humanity's next step. Our destiny as a species. Do not underestimate them. But most of all, do not underestimate him.
Wow, where were all the complaints about don't put politics in my video games when this thing came out? Because I kind of don't remember that. I forgot. You know, I mean, I didn't play the game, but I've seen that cutscene, and I kind of forgot everything that was in that cutscene. And I ultimately don't think Halo as a franchise is up to telling the story that it's trying to now, especially after having kind of ignored most of that stuff and keeping it as deep background for 5 games.
Well, they're laying down the groundwork for their own stuff.
Yeah,
I want to get a yikes forever on that.
Oh yeah, actually, yikes. So the Master Chief is the Ubermensch, and
Yo!
and a cop. Like, all that material was deep background, you know, it was in novelizations and other sources, but it never...
Yeah, and other Halo materials.
Like, Spartans having PTSD doesn't rise to the surface of any of the other games. They're being abused as children doesn't come to the fore. Cortana wasn't 12.
I think she looks 12.
I like how they classify classic PC behavior as being like sociopathic.
Yes.
All right, please don't do that the whole game.
I don't know. I may just keep a running total. I may just keep a yikes total.
Yeah, this Cortana is kind of yikes.
But as I was saying before we started, it just seems so weird that the arc for this character design skews towards sexualization, but also skews younger every time. And I realize
Wake up,
it's a virtual character. It doesn't look like anything. But
I need you.
I'm just glad that they kept Jen Taylor.
oh, well, that's true. I mean,
I hate recasting. And in fact, do you know that they've actually made the Microsoft Cortana interface? They're now using a digital version of Jen's voice.
Oh, are they? I thought they weren't using her voice.
Where are we?
No, they are now.
Oh, okay.
On the dawn.
Took them
Why
forever.
did you wake me?
Hang on. Bringing your systems online now. I rewrote your seat firmware while you were out.
You've been busy.
Activating the ship's gravity generators.
Oh, Ariel Wilson's in the chat says, "Are we finally taking the plunge into the lesser titles?"
Yes! Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Point Blank says, hey-oo!
Seems like old times.
Ready to get back to work?
I thought you'd never ask. We've got intrusion alerts lighting up on multiple decks. Our best bet to figure out who's boarding us is the observation deck, 4 floors up.
Could it be a rescue team?
Wouldn't bet on it.
Having Jen Taylor's voice coming out of that character design, though, is kind of like the bit at the end of Ghost in the Shell when Major Kusanagi's intelligence is inside the little robot body of a child.
7 months, 10 days.
It's
Somebody.
a little creepy. It is creepy.
What's that?
Sensor scan, high intensity. Doesn't match any known patterns.
How close are we to the observation deck?
It's directly above us. The elevator doors look sealed tight. Chief, be careful! Because some areas might have lost pressure.
Right.
Thanks a lot, Cordona.
Chief, watch out! Didn't realize the ship had deteriorated so badly.
I think it's kind of unfair to dig a studio for trying to evolve its content, but I do remember my initial reactions to seeing playthroughs of this bit being that it felt un-Halo-like.
I thought we had a truce with the Covenant.
A lot can happen in 4 years. Either way, he's probably not alone. We should be careful.
The box dodging and then the flying and a few of the encounters that kind of behave like quick time events. I'm not a huge fan of quick time events. Yeah, Bob Robertson, could it be the rescue team? These days it doesn't make much difference. Yeah, that's true. Like, they are the rescue team, they're just not here to rescue us.
As you can see, particle effects, weapon effects.
So now,
It's not other things. It's all there. It
now
feels like
what we anticipated because of the legendary trailer at the end of Halo
That's the
3,
last of
right,
them.
was that
Find
there's
the
another
override for the blast
structure
shield so
we've
we can
arrived
see
at.
what we're up against.
Yep.
And this game holds that off a little bit because we start off on the Dawn and they're a Covenant on the Dawn. Are they just here to off the Master Chief again?
Oh no, they're here because they're exploring the new element that showed up. You're going to find out more about how and why they're here in a bit.
Right. Well, but I'm saying, but if they had ignored the
news is
Dawn,
these
if they had
Covenant aren't
scanned the
outfitted
Dawn
like standard
and saw that,
military.
like,
It's possible we just came across a rogue salvage ship.
Cortana was dormant and we were asleep, they could have
Or we
investigated
might
the
have stumbled
artifacts
into
and left us alone
fleet.
and made it easy on themselves.
Maybe they haven't
They may not even know
recognized
we're
us.
here.
That's one possibility. Landing
Of
craft
course,
flanking
now
us.
they do.
Yeah, if they didn't.
This I thought was neat because you get a chance to see them invade like you did back in Halo 2.
Yeah.
I think you might have to vote me down at 240. My internet's not
Really? Oh,
handling
okay.
this very well right now.
Well, there is a lot of action going on, so
Yeah, but it's to the point point where like I can't hear you guys because now Mumble's breaking up because there's not enough bandwidth for it.
Bandwidth. Okay, all right, I'll drop you to 360. Okay, so now you're at 240p, 300 kilobits.
Yeah, that should help. Sorry.
No problem.
We need to get off this ship.
We've got bigger problems. We've got a cruiser on an intercept course. Head for the elevator banks.
Yeah,
Didn't
so
the
for
ship sensors say we still had weapon systems online?
Yes, but since the ship was torn in half, we can't access the weapon stations. We'll have to fire them manually from the outer hull.
So fighting Covenant in a human spacecraft is pretty de rigueur for Halo, right? I mean, that's how Halo 1 starts. It's how Halo 2 starts. It's not how Halo 3 starts, but that's only because of the way Halo 2 ended.
Did it end? Or was it just lopped off at the knees?
And also, these are non-Joe Staten grunts. Right? These grunts don't speak English.
Yeah,
So
not a
it's
fan.
non-comedy grunts.
Well, not just non-comedy, it's just the tone of the voices.
And Point
Not
Back
a
says,
fan.
"Who's at the controls here? Black Star is playing. I am snarking for the moment. We'll see whether the experience inspires me to grab a controller or not."
Yes, for this entire
jury
duration,
is
everyone has to
out.
refer to him as Snarkagen.
Assuming they don't raise them, that missile's gonna be one
I'm
heck of a
surprised
surprise.
we haven't done that so far. I mean, it seems very obvious.
To tell you the truth. Oh man, just once I'd like to be able to stick something.
I think you're saying they're dodging even on easy?
I have, even through the hour-long demo I did to get it oriented, because again, I have not played this game since it came out. Yeah, I have yet to actually stick anything. See, I got no ammo in this thing again, so I don't know if I'm gonna have to pick up one of these. I'm not a big fan of the storm rifles myself.
These
And that they
Covenants
brought
seem
in
more
from
fanatical
Reach.
than the ones we fought before.
See, couldn't even stick a grunt.
Well, I was short. I'm not sure it would have hit him anyway.
Well, that's what I mean. I the feel for where the grenades are and where they're supposed to be and whatnot. I just don't have it right now. I've been playing this for an hour. In fact, even getting used to the stick zoom as opposed to the
As
trigger,
opposed to
I've been doing that a couple
left trigger.
times. We'd be throwing nades at things that I
Well,
didn't need to.
that's the weird thing. Like
How
the
far
game that
is this?
trained me to play that way
We're just about
was Gears of War.
Jeff wasn't a fan.
Yeah, no, but it's weird that like the whole post,
See?
post
Look at that
that,
dodge.
like the Destiny's controls are way more like Gears than they are like Halo. Just because everything is hand down sight.
Yeah, the grunt
think-
noises in this, I am not a
Are
fan
they
of.
trying to do comedy out of that? Because I mean, like that's not a particularly noise. He kept talking way after he was dead.
Yep. Because he had a lot to say.
Sounded like chanting.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like normal dialogue, speech, or voices or anything. Ooh, that could.
Yeah,
I got lucky. He just missed my head. I think it's this one. Police chief, hurry!
The auxiliary launch station should be to your left, out of the airlocks. You'll have to prime the launch for ignition.
Cortana,
It's nothing. Just get to the launch station.
Yeah, we didn't realize that was actually
I'm sorry,
Cortana
did
giving
I
away the
miss
ghost
orbiting a forerunner planet at some point?
that Master Chief
One
is
thing at a
actually
time.
police chief, made to
Chief,
beat up
you
protesters.
need to find the missile controls.
Yeah, I know.
He missed the jump. You know what I mean? No clambering. Oh, those snipers are gonna absolutely mess me up. I'm gonna try and speed this. Oh,
There's the launch station.
I do like like the sprint, though. I really do like the sprint.
Launch
Now, is it
initiated!
unlimited sprint?
Yes, but it does have a cooldown. Oh, jeez.
That's a problem.
Great! The blast door's jammed. The missile won't fire until it's clear.
I gotta get that sniper.
Get
out of
down
here.
there.
He's just messing me up. One behind me, too. Bye-bye. Oh, give me that gun. Give me the gun. I'm trying to get this gun jumping through space. Come here. There we go. Yeah. Sorry, I'm very proud of that. That was actually very hard. Beeline it. Come on, come on, come on. What I don't understand is why I can't simply time a space jump and actually float up over there a lot better than I'm doing. Oh man, everyone's right in my way.
No bullets.
Let's see if I can get it. Yes!
You did it!
I just didn't want to spend the time clearing rooms.
And I assume you're invulnerable once you do that animation, right?
Yes. Cutscene! Take that, you nasty monster. You'll get more of the same.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Darn it.
Chief?
The Covenant weren't the ones scanning us.
So, now can we worry about the giant metal planet?
If we must.
It's using a gravity well to pull us inside the surface. We've got to hurry. The second we cross the dome's event
like a
horizon,
Dyson
its
sphere.
atmosphere is going to tear us apart.
Yeah, one
They are
of
the closest escape.
give you
it
a
is,
view, but I don't want
Aft
debris
vehicle
hitting
head.
me. Because, yeah, see, if you wait
I'm
long enough, that
tagging the
debris will
closest
kill you.
airlock. Go!
Oh, yeah, I did it accidentally in the demo. I turned around for 1 second, then bang, I hit my box.
Are you in the right place?
Oh, okay. Yep. I gotta wait for the room to pressurize.
What's going on?
All but one of the grav generators just went dark.
Just keep it pointed at that vehicle bay.
Quick, run past that unstable wildcat.
Sure is a lot of money.
We're almost there. Chief! Hold on! We're caught in the gravity well.
Can you track the escape pods?
Negative. Look out!
Are you controlling this, or is this just a cutscene?
Oh no, this is barely a cutscene. Oh.
All right, well,
Yeah, that looked pretty intentional.
Halo 4 is just like being hit with a large piece of metal. Maybe it was just because of how quickly you went through that, but I also felt that like there was more. I'm not sure I want to call it interaction, but like a lot more Cortana talking about what's going on. Like, look out, turn around, over there, over there. I like.
Oh no, that's not even controllable by me. That's all timed by the game. So yeah.
I know, but it's like I never felt that Cortana was really micromanaging. Like the other games, it felt like commentary and like stuff like, "Hey, watch it. There's two of us in here." Was like a remark. It wasn't her trying to backseat drive. Halo trend number 2, getting up after crashing into
Where
a
are
thing.
we?
Checking coordinate impact data.
We have asked you to give up your family, your childhood, your future.
Cortana.
I'm sorry. It's the crash. I'm fine.
Something was wrong even before we left the Dawn.
Chief? Really? I'm fine.
Cortana.
I was put into service 8 years ago.
8 years.
AIs deteriorate after 7, Chief.
Halsey.
Chief.
We need to find Halsey.
Chief, please.
She made you.
Oh,
She can
Rampancy's
fix
just
you.
getting
I
old.
won't
Police
recover
chief.
from Rampancy, Chief.
If we can just get back to Earth and find Halsey, she can fix this.
Don't make a girl a promise you can't keep.
Not again.
We need to move.
Yeah, I hate that they reused that line, but they also reused
Yeah.
it inaccurately, so that's a double
Doesn't
win.
look like the Covenant fared much better than we did.
How many
Yeah,
ships made it through the roof?
Plenty. Why?
We still need to ride home.
And suddenly my weapons have changed again.
Nice. Yeah,
Well, yeah, that's a hallmark of Halo.
The simplified version of Rampancy in Halo, remember, because it's like it never gets mentioned really until
Right.
here, is that the process where they basically take human brains and turn them into code for AIs results in a personality construct that over the long term is unstable, and the thing is, after 7 years they quote unquote think themselves to death. And also, like, off-screen in a novelization that takes place between Halo 1 and Halo 2?
Interesting factor here isn't that H1 disabled
Plot
the
point.
viral termination code I implanted in her matrix. These metrics imply its success wasn't just unlikely, but that even the accepted 7-year life cycle estimates may not apply. Thus far, I've determined that the unique circumstances of her creation have triggered what I can only refer to as a recessive variant in the AI seed. As her architect, I'm currently at a loss as to the origin of this rogue element. Very curious.
So yeah, so there's the log from Halsey, who created her, because it's basically a mirror of Dr. Halsey's mind, to plant the seed that, yeah, she may not be under the same restrictions as other AI designs.
But may have other problems as well. So-
Yes. So it's
Yeah.
like, we're not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing. That's a storm. Ah, now this is a
What
new
is that?
weapon,
Oh, okay.
completely alien to your Halo experience, and I love this thing.
These
is what-
things have quieted down.
This one takes out Covenant shields really, really quickly, so I kind of save those for elites and things.
There's a
if
crevice
I'm
we
right-
can use to get through the rocks over there.
Yay, Carmeline!
See the waypoint on your HUD. What is that? Chief, see if that terminal is still active.
Is Arnold Schwarzenegger in there? You gotta let him out.
I pressed it. Did it glitch?
Oh, does it do more? Does it do more than what
Yes.
it's doing?
Sounds like a zombie.
No, she gives an explanation as to what and why it's here. I think it glitched because I triggered it right when she was talking.
Oh.
Yeah, she basically says that this is a transmission that the Covenant's been doing outside of this planet for the past 3 years. They've been trying to get inside, and they haven't until now. So in other words, it didn't open up until we arrived.
I hope the transmission is more than just that one grunt, because that's...
Nope. Nope. It's basically the Covenant saying, die, Doug.
Oh, okay. Sounded like Arnie going...
Well, you know,
I'm picking
we're
up
not
a
great with
faint
English.
transmission on the high band.
Covenant?
I don't think so. The pattern's different. I'll try to triangulate its position.
I used to be good at that. Bob Roberts had asked, did all this lifetime limit stuff originate in Blade Runner? I don't know that it originated. It's one of the earlier examples I can think of.
Oh, that's pretty epic. Yeah, it's kind of an old sci-fi throwback acoustically.
Yeah. It sounds a little bit like some of the instrumental tracks on the old Boston albums, a little bit. You know, the ones that are like, we do this without computers or synthesizers, just
nice to see
weird
your luck is
tube
holding
amp
out.
thingies. The Rockman. Oh my god, that tire's talking to you.
That's exactly what it sounds like, does it?
Yep.
Our tires are light years ahead of the competition.
I always listen to tires that talk to me.
You know, it's funny,
so where was this in Halo 3? Did we get new supplies somewhere? I don't know. I assume somewhere else on the Dawn. I mean...
Well, there were a bunch of cargo areas and other areas of the ship that got split.
This Warthog has a different design that is not featured.
Oh, yeah. Actually,
It's got a leak in the muffler.
About my condition?
Yeah.
I didn't want to mention it, seeing as
to
how
me.
it's a complete long shot, but since you brought it up, it is possible that getting home could help me find a solution for my rampancy.
How?
Well, as far as I know, I'm the only AI ever generated from living tissue. A clone of Dr. Halsey.
Gun even sounds different.
It may be possible to recompile my neural net by replicating those same conditions. But that means getting back to Halsey soon.
That means we have to crack open Halsey's skull. No problem.
Hold still while I put this drill in.
See, I thought
two-stroke Warthog.
Yeah, it does. This thing sounds like a.
Actually, it's a hydrogen electric thing. It's supposed to work in all kinds of different gravity and
It
atmospheric
sounds like a
environments.
Or an, it sounds like an ATV.
It does, doesn't it? It's almost like they copied and pasted the wrong audio. Believe it or not, there's actually a Top Gear explanation about all the specs of this vehicle out there, done by Clarkson. It's hysterical. Yeah, we should have grabbed that. Maybe we'll grab it for the next episode.
Cross marketing.
Oh, big time. But yeah, this sounds like a motorcycle rather than a car.
Strange signal again.
Like a low displacement one, though.
Yeah.
Do you think there's something to it?
I'm curious more than anything. His behavior is odd.
It's like a 50cc.
Yeah.
It does. It sounds very, very small.
Excuse me, pardon me.
Runs well. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with these guys.
Oh, you don't need to, right?
Nope. Excuse me, pardon me. Guess I'm pulling kind of a funkmon, but we want to get through this.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to say anything about the game if we don't actually play it.
If we're going to hijack a ship from these Covenant, we're going to have to
I
find
figured the
where
least
they're
amount of play would
landing
make you happy.
I don't suppose you have a plan for that.
first. We could always ask nicely.
Asking's not my strong suit.
So yeah, let me show you this guy.
Master Chief doesn't believe in consent.
Boy, that's a bad message.
Hey man, it's what he said. It's like, I don't ask. I decide what I want and I take it. Okay.
In combat situations? Man, you're gonna be doing that this whole game, aren't you?
That's only 3 so far.
Yeah, only 3. We're not even through the first episode yet. Oh, why would you find a good one? Come on, hold still. The problem is, ammo for this thing is incredibly limited. It's not lying around in lots of places. I will say this, I do love the new design for the Jackals. I never liked the original design for the Jackals, and these ones at least look the scariest to me. Grunts, not so much. I definitely like the earlier grunt design better than this one. I got no bullets from my carbine. And strangely enough, carbine ammo is also very, very rare, which I find terribly annoying because it's also one of my favorite.
Well, they basically made it like the DMR, so it's too strong to give you unlimited ammo for it.
Hallmark of Halo's always been pistol, which was always OP.
I was always a Needler fan.
Oh, really? You were a Needler whore too?
Oh, yeah.
Where is he? Oh, it's down over here. See, okay, they got guys above and behind.
Oh, Phil Mysterious is in the chat.
Melee, but
Phil says,
Phil.
Master Chief and Cortana aren't even the same characters in this game. That is very true, I think.
Why am I listening to runs?
when my friends always hated me for meleeing them to death.
I actually remember the first PC LAN I went to where I was trying to get everybody into Halo because the PC version had just come out. And sure enough, there was one guy, we were doing the spinning circle of each other, and I went up and finally meleeed him and he died. And he said, okay, that's it, I quit. And he never wanted to play it ever again.
That elite dropped his camo module. Let's have a look. I'll run a soft patch to it from the suit. Never know what might come in handy.
Why couldn't you do that in the last 3 games?
Yeah, I know, right?
There's that phantom signal again.
Sounds like somebody at Verizon saying, can you hear me now?
Sentinel.
Yeah, Point Blank says, Master Chief has character in any game?
Show up.
Poor Roger Downs. You try so hard. I will say this. I mean, come on. You got to admit, this looks pretty. I mean,
well, like
this
I said,
is a pretty game.
It's the prettiest one of those things I've seen. I'm just not sure that what they've made a pretty version of is all that interesting. I mean, it's definitely busy. It's got some nice lighting effects, so they've obviously made technical improvements.
A console in the back.
Right, but the substance is lacking.
Too busy, really. It's still.
It's pushing it for me. I like.
Keep in mind, you are 240p.
It's a localized site cartographer. Okay.
Well, no, that's
in
just
service
my
of
point.
Forerunner
It's not
Shield
too
World,
busy for
designate
240.
Requiem.
Well, that's good.
Requiem. At least we know where we are now.
For a
Let's see
dream.
if it can tell us what the Covenant are so interested in. Huh.
Ugh.
What happened?
I don't know. It locked up.
Oh,
Detected
man.
power
Not finding out what
fluctuations in
they're
several
interested in.
locations.
I think
I'll
she
put them
ran
up
the
for
latest
you.
May Windows update.
I bet we're gonna have to
Hopefully we
run
can
to
find
several
some way to get
waypoints
this
to boost the
cartographer
signal to
back
find out
online.
what it was.
Yeah,
Is that what's
probably.
gonna happen?
Buttons. Where are the buttons?
Like the thing about Forerunner environments, the thing that contrasted them to others in the other games was how clean and basic they were. And adding a lot of detail worked against that, I think, a little bit.
Where the minimalist aesthetic's gone?
Yeah.
That makes sense. I just don't remember them well enough to.
They probably would have done better to do more.
It's all right. His energy is
I want to
actually
see
a
textures as
ferroelectric
opposed
data
to
field.
depth.
Your shields are just cycling in
You know,
response to the
shaders
chamber's
as opposed
charge.
to trying to give it 80 billion angles and grooves.
Partially. This type of processing system usually works in
Don't waste that on a
parallel.
grunt.
We'll have to locate its pin.
What are you
Oh,
even
the suit is
doing?
fun though.
I'm having
No,
fun.
I totally understand that.
I see. Thank you.
Ooh, needlers.
There we go. Yeah, see, I didn't want to waste my ammo on this, and yeah, I wanted to get a needler. Now, I don't know if you're going to like the new needler sounds.
They've made
Yeah,
the
they kinda
Covenant
ruined that.
weapons all sound more mechanical. Like, even the plasma pistol sounded like it had a metal hammer in it. And I'm like, what is making that noise?
Yeah, that really ruins it.
Oh, wait, did you die or not die?
No!
Oh, okay.
I got hurt. Wow, you're really gunning for that, huh? Oh, he died. Quick, I gotta let the world know. It's like, no, I haven't died yet. I just wanted to showcase the needler because she was a fan, but sadly, they did not do a good job with that either.
It's not even as pink as it was. Like they dumped down the
no.
color.
It's defining characteristic.
See, if get it against a darker background. There we go. See, if you show in the dark, they want to give like a crystalline gradient that's a shade between light and dark where it glows interior. And, you know, I like the concept, but acoustically, they just really, really goofed it. In fact, I think a lot of the changes that they made acoustically for this, I am not a fan of.
Yeah, I agree.
In fact, if there was a way to go back to that, I would like, yeah, give me the old sounds. And that's what I liked about the original not the original, but the anniversary edition of the original Halo.
Keep the old music and sound effects
sounds.
and the new
Yes.
visual. But
Because
I think
there's such a
the
hallmark.
other, like in Halo 2 Anniversary, I think you don't have that. I don't think you can do that.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, this neither makes me sad.
Yeah. It's prettier, but it doesn't feel the same with sound.
Sword was still good though.
Yep.
Is that the same signal?
Yes. Mayday, mayday, mayday. UNSC AI Cortana to Infinity. Please respond. No response. But from the strength of that signal, the Infinity has to be close by. The cartographer should be back online. We may be able to use it to track the ship's location.
Now that should not work. Yeah, the plasma pistol sounds mechanical.
Yeah.
And there's really no reason for it. It doesn't sound ethereal. It doesn't sound specialized. It doesn't sound
It
really...
doesn't sound like an energy weapon.
No, it does not.
Do you think they needed to shift that
We can't give
because
the Covenant access to the cartographer. Clear them out.
because the whole thing in the original game is that the human weapons are mechanical and ballistic, and the Covenant weapons are energy and alien. The needle being the weird exception, where it's like it has projectiles, but everything about the gun is different. And I assume that they're gonna have to introduce a whole new alien faction here, and they're gonna have to have their own particular designs, their own.
They ran out of the acoustic range to come up with
I'm wondering if the Covenant armory got shifted towards,
That's it.
if
Now
not
quick,
the look,
to
then
the
at least the
cartographer.
sound of the human stuff to make room for the Forerunner weapons being the energy alien sounding ones.
That is so stupid.
Well, I wasn't going quite that far, but yeah, he looks like a moray eel with feathers.
Yeah, but see, the difference between the grunt one, of course his head is upside down, but the grunt design, I like the new jackal design, I don't like the new grunt design. Elites are okay, elites are always just the same, they just keep changing the armor.
Oh, Perseus Spartacus says, sound of Covenant weapons are definitely not as nice, but I think the sounds of the human and Forerunner weapons are an upgrade.
Well, I suppose, maybe.
We'll have to do a demo.
Oh no, Cortana just swiped right on the didact.
The transmission is coming from everywhere on the planet at once. It doesn't want to triangulate Infinity's signal. Oh wait, I got it.
That can't be right. Scan again.
We've already passed through one layer of the planet's surface. It's not crazy to think that someone else made it deeper inside than we did.
You mean the planet's hollow?
Let me see if I can figure out a way to reach these
course
coordinates
it
that
is.
doesn't involve us digging a really big hole.
The call is coming from inside the planet.
There's a terminus on the far side of the complex. We can portal to the planet's core from there.
What?
I don't know.
If we have a shot at getting you back to Infinity, we're taking it.
We might have to go beyond, Chief.
It was funny, you haven't said anything about his armor yet. What did you guys feel about the new Chief's armor?
It looks like normal.
Let's get to that terminus and find
it's
Infinity.
Way different than their earlier iterations, though.
I gotta admit,
Narc would know.
What do you know about
true.
Infinity?
I do kind of
Not
know,
much.
but
She was supposed to be massive, but the project was only in prototype when we left.
Point Blank says, that's not a planet, it's a space station.
Yep. Of all the details in the Halo series that I like to nitpick, the suit design was never really one of them, but a lot of people take that stuff very
totally.
seriously.
I expected you to.
Details on the back of the gloves and
the shape, the
way
helmet,
the shading of the plating, armor plating on the legs and the midsection. And
to me, that would be the first thing I would harp on, to tell you the truth, is the armor design more than anything else, because that is iconically the Chief's design.
Right. But to me, it's more like the plot stuff where it's like, how do you explain the changes in model weapons when there doesn't seem to be any opportunity for new guns to be being worked on to get to you? Why do old guns you had access to disappear? Things like that.
Why do I always have the auto rifle every time I respawn?
I do kind of miss the way that, like, the Halo 1 armor looks. Like, I like that. But I realize that, it's all different now. So now it's all like, it's new style armor, and that's where I leave it.
There's nothing more boring than you can do to tell an artist, just make it like the other one.
The bridge below.
Just make it like that.
Stay sharp.
Nobody wants to do that. And nobody wants to hear it just looks like it used to.
Now, does this look like anything else that you're familiar with? Does this literally the design
looks like a Forerunner bridge, except with
original Forerunner Halo bridges?
Except somebody's been whittling on it. Like all the surfaces that used to be clean now have like cuts taken out of them.
It's all kind of groovy. Now, the other thing I am not a fan of. Now, you notice they've gone with kind of this atmospheric haze. It's like there's literally a atmospheric glow or whatnot.
This hollow space station is very humid.
Yeah, well, the other thing that they've done is you notice on the zoom of a lot of weapons, especially the Covenant ones, they have their own colorized version of the HUD. So now you get these two hazes competing with each other.
Yeah.
Look like this. It's like, haze upon haze upon haze. And it's like, I just want to put some, and of course your shield, look at the mask of your shield. You've got your own gradients for that too. So now you've got your mask problem, the atmosphere problem, now the zoom problem. It's like, Jesus tap dancing Christ, put some Windex in the damn thing. I just want to see what I'm looking at.
Phil Mysterious says, suit consistency is the least of this game's problems.
Yes, but it is the first people heart.
True.
I will say, now that I got the controls dialed in, though, this definitely feels more Destiny-like. I think it got like everything cranked up to 9 or 10, and I mean, I'm cracking headshots here left and right. I couldn't do that the first time I played this game. When did this one come out? I can't remember the year this came out.
Perseus 2014 has a good point that he doesn't care about the armor much because you almost never see it, and I would be inclined to agree, except like the only reason why I do like the Halo 1 armor is because of Red versus Blue. And that like totally ingrained it in my mind.
Those are the ones you're used to seeing all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, if you suddenly showed up with this chief in an episode, you'd be like, hey, who the hell is this guy? Now see, I just tried to slide there, and I'm like, I can't do that.
It's not a thing.
Oh, carbine ammo. Oh, jeez. Yay! Carbine for days. Bye-bye. And I had to do a double take there and like, wait a minute, is this guy's head? It is, and then shoot. There's all the haze, man. Now, also check this out. Vehicle.
Is it purple haze?
I kind of wish it was. It would look better. This green on yellow is not working for me.
Is that Banshee drivable? Can we get that, or?
It is, and that was another thing I was going to ask. It's like, how did you feel about Banshee changes? And I'll show them to you in a second. Am I wasting this? Because I got a whole barrel over here. Oh yeah. Boom, headshot. Okay, anything else worth grabbing? Probably not.
Is this Banshee optional, or?
It is!
Oh.
That's not bad.
Sounds interesting.
And hover, you can't really hover anymore. Now I gotta make sure I'm hitting the right... Let's see if there's a little max out here. Oh! Okay, that's... For a second I thought I was gonna bail.
At least you didn't bail out, yeah.
That's the forward thrust.
The gun has also got a mechanical sound to it, though.
Yep. No, it's not the button. Is it B? No, it's not B. Oh, that's it. Now, see, they made it to actually change.
Okay, the FRG sounds right, at least.
Yep.
But that doesn't. That sounds...
I do like that they made the plasma bolts smaller so they're not taking up the entire
that
screen.
sounds like a belt-fed projectile weapon, not like some kind of a plasma cannon. And I'm trying to place it, but like the engine drone sounds like some 50s sci-fi movie sound.
It does.
It sounds like it's some piece of machinery from Forbidden Planet or something.
And it is definitely not as maneuverable. You can't you know, swing around and do all kinds of crazy tricks that you used to. It's very much feels like a fixed-wing aircraft at a particular speed, and I can't go any slower than this, or at least I haven't figured out how to.
Whiff.
That's not how much I like the Banshee.
Oh, Precious Partisan says, I have to say, I do not like how the Banshee flies in this game.
No, I do not like it myself. Oh, damn, out of bullets. Where is he? Oh, he's beneath me. Oh, there's a rock in the way, so I guess I shouldn't worry about him. See?
Yeah. You don't have any skulls on it, right?
None. In fact, I specifically wanted to go through this skull list to make sure there wasn't anything either A, messing me up, or B, me taking advantage of. So, it is on easy, but it is completely stock otherwise. And I have to change another weapon here. There's reasons.
Chief, the Covenant net's going crazy. They're ordering all units to converge on the tower.
I guess we got their attention.
Frame rate. Yeah, that's on the Xbox, ladies and gentlemen. Don't adjust your stream.
Isn't it supposed to be running at 60 though?
Oh, it is running at 60, but it still chokes when it comes into a big giant room like this.
No, I didn't notice at all.
Okay, turn over there. He's down. I want to get that ghost, otherwise he's going to run me over. Come on. How many nades? Yeah, I got one nade.
Can you steal the ghost?
You can. But again, I have not played this in a while, so hopefully it'll prompt me. I just can't like speed over things. Yeah. I just don't want to do it real quick for fear of this being my first death. So yeah, so hear this gun as well. This also sounds very mechanical. Also, the boost does not work the same. Lateral moving left and right is incredibly slow. It feels so, it feels so fixed even compared to the original. Yeah, so my ghost whoring days for this game are over.
Oh, it still looks like fun though.
Oh yeah, but I was a major ghost whore in Halo 1. There are highlight vids to show it. In fact, one person actually said, why is Black always in a ghost? It's like, easy, I'm a ghost whore. There was this whole technique I had down on Sidewinder of stealing flags where I could zoom into the base, pop out, grab the flag, pop back in, and zoom out and run over everyone in the meantime, and then score. And I did that in games like 6, 7, 8 times in a row. It was great. I mean, for me, everybody else hated it.
It's still way better than the Warthog is now.
Yeah, but Narc's right. It's very mechanical over the etheric electronics. And I can't say it's an improvement. Okay, so I'm gonna see if anybody's got one of these around. Nope, there's a storm, damn it. And yeah, the armor ability, yeah, we haven't really gone over the new features.
That also seems very un-Halo. I mean, that's kind of unfair to say that, right? Because all it really means is that wasn't in a Halo game up to now.
Right. But having abilities where you could simply put on shields or dump...
We're about to have our hands full.
Devastating ground slams.
The Elites just issued a general order. They're moving all ground teams to secure the tower entrance above us.
No, it's a general order.
Okay, I just got a
guess
really
they really
bad
mean
idea.
it.
What if somebody was above you wearing a skirt?
Nobody wants to see that.
Were the Forerunners all pervs? They put glass floors and ceilings everywhere. Back up.
Now, we haven't seen any members of the new factions yet, and even the shield thing you picked up, is that provided you by a Covenant device you picked up? Or?
No, this is actually a device that was a Forerunner thing on one of the tables that we walked by.
Oh, okay, alright, so that is a Forerunner object, even though we haven't seen any Forerunners yet.
The one I had before was the cloak.
Can you put it up again, though?
Sure.
Okay, because that shape looks a lot like the barriers that we're seeing, and that we have seen like since Halo 1, you know, like on the ramps going up to the control room in Assault on the Control Room.
Ooh, that's.
I just didn't want to make that connection if this was not a Forerunner device.
Well, all the Covenant stuff has been stolen from the Forerunner tech, so there's going to be a generational similarity.
You could always connect it one way or the other. Perseus says, I want to make one small point, though. As much as I might complain about the rest of the sound design, the music in the game is actually really good. I gotta admit, I kind of don't feel that. I thought the parts of this soundtrack I've heard are underwhelming, and I don't know that it's just unfair to compare anybody else to Marty and Michael Salvatore's music or not. I don't think that's the case, because there are a lot of games that I like their soundtracks quite a bit.
I want to throw an aid.
But this game's soundtrack did not do it for me personally.
It's not blowing your skirt up.
No.
Okay, so Covenant Sniper.
Oh, really?
More haze. Yeah,
wow, the body of this thing got a lot bigger.
Oh, massively.
Like that. Yeah, that like takes up way more of your screen.
Now, I will say that I don't like the shape of it, but again, I don't mind the sound of it either. Are there any weapons around over here?
I don't like the way it looks, but on the other hand, I also don't like the way it sounds.
No, I do like the way it sounds.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes. No, I am a fan of how it is.
The funny thing is that like of the original weapons, like in Halo 1 and Halo 2, that was the only Covenant weapon that did sound mechanical, especially when it overheated, right? It made this real big, loud metallic clank if you overheated.
Yes, but that was the mechanics of the weapon. I didn't mind that.
Yes, right. But now this sounds very soft and electronic in a way that a lot of the other ones don't.
Let's see. Nope. Now, also notice that they're only letting you get 2 plasma grenades and 2 frag grenades.
Right.
You can't carry 4 each like you used to. And look, it's the Hunter. Those who don't know, the name of our Halo group from back in the day was the Electrolos.
The Sentinels are trying to keep the Covenant out.
Oh, uh-oh.
Yep. Of course, these ones are a lot harder to kill. Oh, look at that chin shot.
If Infinity really is in the planet's core, then that terminus is all that's between us and home. What are you waiting for?
Tell me the planet's core is also infinite because of the transitive property?
Just wait for him to fire. There we go. I knew he was going to fire at some point. And the shield can hold it. Here we go.
Now, the Sentinels aren't hostile to you,
While you were busy,
right?
I managed to clear up another transmission from Infinity.
Sounded like he said artifact.
I wonder if it's related to whatever the Covenant are after.
Where's the terminus?
The map placed it at the top of the tower.
Christia says, sure, the soundtrack's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, and it's a big change. I feel it's very sci-fi in a way the other soundtracks did. That's true, but I think that's what it is. I think the idea of a sci-fi shooter video game with an orchestral soundtrack, mostly, the occasional prog rock thrown in, was one of the things that set Halo apart and made it different. And so to then go to a synth-heavy soundtrack to be sci-fi made it seem less like itself. But again, at some point, all you're doing is objecting to things being different, and that's not really useful. It's not helpful, I don't think.
Like, we're getting a bit orchestral here.
A little. But
Yeah,
but again, if you were to say, well, what soundtracks like that do you like? I would say, like, the Mass Effect soundtrack, the entire series, is, like, way better than this. And that is, like, the traditional synth-heavy, sci-fi, sounds like a movie from the 70s kind of thing that you'd want. Which is what Halo is not.
So far, the soundtrack here is just kind of, like, fading in the background.
Yeah, it's very low impact. Hi, Question Deca.
According to the cathedral, this terminus is just one node of a larger transit grid that spans the entire planet.
What?
When I tried to access the outlet closest to Infinity's transmissions, the system responded with this.
What is it?
That's the kicker. It's the Forerunner symbol for Reclaimer.
Humanity. That's got to be Infinity. Can you get us to those coordinates?
Let me try to open a portal.
Cortana.
I'm picking up unknown energy signatures.
Where?
This can't be right.
Set a waypoint out of the tower. Cortana?
How did... Quick! Into the portal! Chief, go!
Hello, new friends. Goodbye, new friends. Is that a good place to take a break? What level are we on here?
If you want.
Is this that was the end of what, level 2? Or
See,
that
we're
wasn't
breaking
all
this up
one
into
level, was
segments.
it?
No. But here, if you want, this is probably a good part to save and quit. So yeah, so we're going to be taking a short break. If you've just tuned in right now, you're watching the Rampancy.net playthrough of Halo 4. Please stand by. We'll be right back after this.
All right, welcome back everybody to Rampancy playing Halo 4. And by that I mean Blackstar playing Halo 4.
As a change of pace, because Snarkagen is too busy and he didn't want to play this game. Anyway, we've got special guest Leah Crow.
Aloha.
From sunny downtown Hawaii. Yes, so let's pick up again. The story thus far.
Perseus Particle says, this game's aesthetic seems to suffer a lot of the same problems as Mass Effect Andromeda. Oh, wow, that's harsher than anything I've ever said about this game.
Defense AIs.
Well, like I said, you're not alone.
It's hard to say without a closer look. Come on, let's figure out where that transit system dumped us.
Yeah, dump transit system. Ooh.
Yeah, now presumably...
look at this! It's an auto-sentry. What is the auto-sentry doing? It makes a... Look at that!
Did it give us a headache? Did it break our neck?
No! It gave us a little space bug that would shoot things if it was in a room to shoot things.
Very surprised Master Chief.
Yeah, I know. He's like, whoa, where's this coming out of? Yeah, I just wanted to showcase that. So these little pedestals, every now and then you get little special abilities, and that was one of them. And of course, demoing it here doesn't help.
And how many tens of seconds does that last?
Console.
It lasted a pretty long time.
Oh, it doesn't follow you?
Well, I put it in through a door. It wasn't really a combat area. It doesn't know what to do with itself.
Literally unplayable.
Check this out.
Question Deca also did not hate Andromeda. I'm glad I'm not loading that.
Andromeda made my face tired.
Well, it depends which Andromeda you're talking about. Are we talking about Gene Roddenberry's, or are we talking about the sequel to Mass Effect?
We're talking about BioWare.
Are we talking about Andromeda Strain, which I love the movie?
Yeah, it had its flaws. That was fun.
Question Deca says Real World comes into play. They couldn't get the same composers.
This is Requiem's core, all right. But Infinity is definitely not here.
No room for it.
That satellite in the center is amplifying the ship's broadcasts like a relay.
Maybe we can use it to respond.
Perhaps.
Your princess is in another castle.
Those beams coming off it are creating the interference we've been experiencing. We'd have to take them out to contact Infinity.
Can you get us there?
Opening a gate to the first beam pylon. Pull me, and let's go.
Are you supposed to say yank me?
I think on my own playthrough, here is where I may not have actually quit here, but I started to think about it.
This is the first pylon?
Negative. This is as close as I could get us. Hope you don't mind hoofing it a little.
Like, this just seemed like such naked use of filler. As in, like, oh, we thought we were looking for a thing? It turns out it's not here. And we can't reach it because thing. So now go do some secondary objectives. So yeah, I mean, obviously...
Yeah, you wouldn't have a level if you didn't have to hoof it.
Yeah, so obviously, now this is an interesting looking environment. This is not something we've seen before. Its uniformity is a little bit, maybe, monotonous. Especially because inside...
And they're back!
Like, they've doubled...
We should be taking damage here.
They've doubled down on the construct bit, so now it's not a ring, it's a sphere, but that means that there's no view of space or the sky, so the ceiling looks like a floor. And robot dogs. I gotta admit, I was not expecting robot dogs.
Similar cortical footprint as the tower AIs. They're connected, all right.
Tracks of lava are concerning.
My future of gaming bingo card didn't have robot dogs on it. At least not these robot dogs. So about the composers, yeah, obviously, like, because Mike and Marty went with Bungie to work on Destiny, they weren't with 343 to be able to do this, and I don't know if they would have wanted to work on both series at once. I have been kind of surprised that 343 hasn't made overtures to Marty O'Donnell post his departure from Bungie. Whether they did or didn't, he didn't accept, I have no idea, but...
Okay, well anyway, why are you talking about Marty? So this is the first weapon that you actually get from the remains of the little rat dogs that has its own set of unique sounds. It's basically like a plasma pistol. But as you can see, it disassembles because it's magnetic, and it also has a shotgun feature that when you overcharge it and then fire it, it fires a bunch at once. So it's like a shotgun and a pistol in one.
How are the dogs carrying these weapons?
Look out!
They are the weapons.
Well, he's just a ray of sunshine, isn't he? From that peek under the hood, I'd say these constructs must be mimetic in nature.
Weapon.
Similar phasing activity at the edge of our sensors. We're about to get busy.
Is that what get busy means?
Depends on the contact.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I'm gonna dump one of these out.
That is a weird animation. That is a... Like that... Yeah, that is odd. The thing that it reminds me most closely of is what happens in Mass Effect 1 to Shepard when she encounters the beacon. And of course, that was supposed to be a traumatic experience that left her, physically hurt and emotionally scarred in a way that it took the entire game to work out. So it's kind of weird that that's what the chief gets when he deploys a piece of equipment.
I've discovered something interesting about our new friends. When the big ones explode, that momentary flash we're seeing is actually a data purge.
Can you tap into it?
So far, I've pulled multiple strings referring to the big ones as Promethean Knights. Beyond that, though, things get a bit dense.
You're telling me.
So this is the light rifle. This is actually like the light scout rifle type weapon. And to be honest,
is it a heavy weapon?
No, this is actually... This would be more of a scout rifle type.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to the pistol. But I gotta say, I like the design, the aesthetics, and the zoom mechanics, and the sounds and whatnot. And to be honest, my favorite weapon of this we have not even gotten to yet. I wanna hold that off. But yeah. So as far as these goes, I do like these designs. I love the whole magnetic mechanics. It seems very, yeah. It's very cool and very alien. Now this is another weapon over here. It's called the suppressor. This is kind of like a big machine gun, which is nice, but the spread is a little wide. I kind of wish that it was more narrow. This thing is like kind of all over the map.
Yeah,
but it is cool.
At some point, attempting to introduce more and more advanced and futuristic alien factions works against the idea of trying to balance your weapon collection.
Right.
Where you're like, my God, you're so advanced. Why can't you keep all the bullets together? What's the matter?
Yeah, no kidding. And well, here's the new grenade. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a little star-shaped grenade now.
Yeah.
You see that? Check this out. It actually sucks and envelops everything in this like little black hole when you throw it. So, yeah.
That's an implosion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Question Decker says it's basically a hard-light assault rifle, and Perseus says, "Knights, we're like saying Haley Elites, only more annoying and bullet spongy." I guess the big question is like
how much they disintegrate.
How much room is there for new and interesting behaviors? Like, are the knights just like, well, we're elites, but we look different? And the dogs are like, well, we're like grunts, except we run on 4 legs and we're a little faster. But they're still just cannon fodder.
One little thing that you notice that when you do actually get their shields down like that and they go away, that gives you a chance to headshot them and disintegrate them. But yeah, I love the disintegration mechanics. I think that's really, really cool. And when little dogs explode, they actually have this kind of like glowy goop thing that kind of sprays everywhere, which is kind of neat. Not sure how much of that Leah's seeing, but
I do think I like
it. I'm not really liking it, but
I like the elements of this soundtrack that are barely a soundtrack at all, where it just seems like it's the ambient sound of the environment and not a piece of music playing at all. But that's also true of Halo. Like, some of the best sound design in Halo are bits where there isn't any music playing.
Is the ambiance.
Yeah.
Right.
Errol Wilson says, the thing about... Sorry.
We must be getting close to the pylon.
The thing about these guns is they were all specifically designed to combat the Flood. They disintegrate targets, and of course there is no Flood to use them on in this game. Go figure.
Didn't he disintegrate when you hit him with a human weapon, though?
No. In a lot of cases, killing them would lead to a corpse that could be reanimated by another infection form.
Or simply explode them and all their bioparticles would fly everywhere, potentially contaminating everything.
No, when these guys that you're shooting.
They're getting goofy. Oh, now this is a little support satellite. I don't know if you saw this before.
Watchers. Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw
they
somebody do
actually
a
put
whole
shields
video.
on these guys.
I saw somebody do a whole video on why he thought their design was terrible. Like, not the way they look, but like the way they behave in gameplay. I gotta admit, I do not remember what his point was, though. Specifically.
The fact that there's big open targets that you can just destroy quite easily.
Well, no, their thing is what is that they catch grenades that are thrown near them and lob them back at you. And someone did do a video on why he thought, like, well, that's what they thought they were doing, but it's uninteresting for these reasons. But I gotta admit, I don't remember what the reasons were.
I deployed my little guy early.
What's that distortion?
Question deck. Oops.
That's me. Something about moving through those portals is increasing the load on my systems.
Are you gonna be all right?
No.
Held off Rampancy this long, haven't I?
Now, this is also a new weapon. This is the scatter shot. This is basically their equivalent of a shotgun.
Okay.
Yeah, which is kind of neat.
Question Dicker says, like the Didact, the overt soundtrack is a little too pretentious.
I thought he was a little pretentious, but we haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
But now some sound effects, like that door and everything, I love those. Those sound awesome. Those sound very alien.
Chief, we won't be able to contact Infinity if we don't get to that pylon and take it down.
Wait, does that say you reach this point,
That's
or
the
is
target.
that?
It looks like the entrance is shielded.
I think it's
Is
because
that saying you're taking too
Let's
long?
figure out how to take it down.
Yeah, it's kind of like asking me to rush.
But like you weren't standing still or anything. I mean,
No, but I did hang back for a little bit to demo a couple of things.
Barely.
Cortana's
that did not seem justified to me. Like there are some bits in Halo 1 where if you stand in a room and don't do anything for a long time, you do get bits of dialogue to, move you on. But I thought it was a little quick.
You're really critical, man. I'm just trying to get through it. Yeah, this is fun.
Is it?
Yes, it is. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having more fun right now than I had originally playing this game because now I got the controls and everything dialed in.
You just want to shoot dogs. That's all. I mean.
Well, I am a cat person, but no. To be honest, I always saw these as more rat-like than dog-like.
Those big rats.
They got tiny little heads and little scampy claws and whatnot. And I never got dogs when I looked at those.
There are dogs like that.
One of the shield's power cores. Take it out.
What do you mean, take it out or
There are
take it
two more
out?
cores on our level. Hit them before you climb all the way up.
Convenient that shooting the energy ball does it.
Yeah, see, and this is the point where they're like, okay, so you need to go to 2 pylons in order to hear the radio transmission, and then you have 3 power cores for each pylon.
Then you get a rod that says parts.
Come back here. Come back here. I'm just gonna shield somebody else.
Oh, Question Deca says they really do want to push you in this part because in the universe, the Didact wants you to move it. Yeah, Bob Robertson's like, take it out? Get her in a movie?
Oh, there it is. I knew it was gonna be around here. I'm back here. Where'd he go? So he just friggin' retreats and I can't follow him. Back here!
Does that matter? I mean...
Yes, because otherwise he's gonna end up just friggin' shooting me every time I go around a corner. I don't know what that alarm was.
Perseus Spartus asks, are the Prometheans in this part under the Librarian's control?
Got him. That's a good question.
Question Deca says yes, hence the blue light. Okay,
yeah, see,
but
I couldn't get the checkpoint done until I killed that guy. So
okay.
yeah, I had to do it.
But why are they attacking us then? Did you try to do a shotgun slide?
No, I wanted to dodge him so I could actually get him closer to my shotgun.
Just use your super already. What are you saving it for?
If I do that, my bug comes out.
Great, that's all the cores. Head for the top of the pylon.
Get him.
That's such a strange animation to choose for that.
Yeah. It's like something you see if you're taking like
Would you like to activate a automatic turret? Okay, here, have a seizure. I mean, it's like, what?
It's like you almost want to hear a vocal scream to go with that animation, but he doesn't do it.
Okay, Question Deca says the Librarian does not want the Didact freed, at least prematurely, and these guys are mostly on automatic at this point, not active control. Okay, so in other words, the Didact is being restrained, and we are advancing towards a point where we would be able to let him out, and the Librarian doesn't want us to do that, so these things are preventing our advancement, basically.
Well, I think they're set in automatic defense mode.
Yeah, okay.
But
right,
fortunately, they were able to put all their ammo cases for us to find.
Nope.
Chief, look at this. That's Requiem. They're not inside at all. They're moving into orbit.
What?
First they're inside the planet, now they're in orbit.
I do remember, I think getting to a point, and I was just watching somebody else play it, but getting to the point where I think once you're clear and you get the signal, and what they tell you is that, like, no, Infinity wasn't brought inside the sphere. They're outside, but then they're brought inside the sphere. And it just seemed like all of it was just a way of, like, leading you on to do things with a breadcrumb of events, but then they couldn't actually follow up on that by letting you reach the objective, so they had to explain why it wasn't there. So you follow the ship inside, and you don't find it because the ship's not there, and then when you get inside, then they bring it.
Did you say forward unto dawn?
They must have intercepted our distress beacon.
The beacon was pulled into Requiem with us. If they try to follow it,
They'll get caught in the gravity well. I'll keep trying to warn them. You just get that beam down.
So, like, we thought that ship was already inside here, and now it's not, but it's going to be because they're following our beacon, and the beacon is inside, so we thought they were inside, and they think we're inside.
That's the beam control.
And it just seemed,
God, it's a whole misunderstanding.
It seemed like needless complexity.
The signal from the relay is starting to clear up.
Detected a UNSC beacon coming from somewhere inside the planet.
they haven't hit the gravity well yet.
over
There's still
events
too much
of
interference to warn them.
no
We've got to
particular
disable that other
significance.
beam before they're pulled in like we were. I was wondering why Infinity hadn't encountered the Covenant yet.
What are they doing here?
They're heading to the second pylon as well.
That can't be a coincidence.
Pretty soon you're gonna need to construct additional pylons.
Sounds like the Prometheans don't want the Covenant here either. The BattleNet's already lighting up with reports of resistance all around the pylon.
Yeah, the Didact is under medical or psychological quarantine until the librarian deems him sane again, which never happens, says Question Deca. And Persia says this whole arc with Infinity is an excuse to have other humans in the game.
Oh no, I have to commit. Do we jump?
We barely had other humans in the game when it was set on Earth.
Drop
Like,
pod.
why do we need humans out here?
Wow, super expanding drop pods. I mean, look at that.
Now, is this a real fight? Like, will this proceed to a victor if you do nothing, or are they just plinking at each other ineffectually and nothing happens?
Let's find out.
I'm happy to let them plink at each other.
Yes. Continue with the plinking. The thing is, though, I'm trying to figure out where I need to get to.
Oh, did they not give you a waypoint yet?
Not yet. Oh, checkpoint's done, so I obviously got within range, so yay. Now the question is, who wins the Plink War, and where do we go from here? I think I'm supposed to go over this cliff somewhere, but where'd it go?
As someone with a lot of first-hand experience with lava, you walking through those areas kind of gives me the shivers.
Me?
Is it supposed to be lava, really? I mean, I suppose it does look like lava, doesn't it?
I am head to toe in the most advanced body armor made by man, so I wasn't really sweating it.
With an energy shield as well, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And a space bug. Need to get up here? No, I need to get up there. Excuse me, pardon me.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, this is where that was cool, didn't it? Here, space bugs, go get them.
Yeah, those areas with the glowing yellow lines, that looks like the kind of lava that you, like, don't step on because you'll fall through.
Oh. Ah. Yeah, that was just poor game design. Ghosts. I'll take one of them, thank you. Or not.
Ow.
Whoa. Yeah, that...
There's something
trying to help. It's like right trigger to boost, dummy.
There's something incredibly busy about the combination of a Promethean knight sitting on a ghost.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Now we're talking.
The relay's signal is breaking up again. We're almost to the beam.
That's kept in the Andrew Dell compression artifact there.
They found the opening!
Enter delete.
Better get up to that relay and fast!
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's because all these areas feel like the underground cavern at the end of Reach, but I feel that like
Power
they've
core
not
down.
really created a
Field
memorable
delete.
space
Still online. Take out
that
the
like
other
I have
two
a
power
sense
cores
of like
and we can
where I
access the
was,
pylon.
where I was going, and where I'd been.
See, this unfortunately just feels like a complete replication of what just
It
in.
does. This feels very much like the last sequence.
Second power core offline. Good job, Chief. That'll do it. Shield should be down. Get up to that beam.
If I recall, the entrance is somewhere over here. Is it?
Like, I assume that wasn't a door, but I also would have thought, looking at that was a door.
Yep. Well, because it looked like the old style door,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Get him, Spacebar!
Yeah, the dizziness is really working against the navigability here.
I probably should have taken out that Banshee.
UNSC Infinity Survivor Forward unto Dawn. Reading a faint IFF tag near the planetary core. Do you read?
Planet's core? They know we're here. Infinity, this is UNSC AI Cortana. Do not approach Forerunner Planet. Repeat, do not approach...
UNSC Asset. Forward unto Dawn. We read you, but you're breaking up. Help. Increase speed by 0.7. Get us in there.
Negative, Infinity. Do not enter the planet.
If you can hear us, keep transmitting.
No! Chief, you've got to get that beam down now!
I feel like telling someone not to pilot their ship into a planet isn't something you should have to tell them.
Why don't they just use
like
a Pelican? I mean, they're great at crashing into things.
Yeah, it seems like some kind of reconnaissance would be warranted.
I can't imagine a ship that big doesn't have little spacecraft.
Come in, Infinity! Appearance is gone, but your suit's transmitter's not strong enough.
Move us up to the relay satellite.
Already done. Go. Once we're on the satellite, there's bound to be a central control point.
Also, is the UNSC Infinite going to be in Halo Infinity?
This doesn't make any sense.
You're right.
Why would they care about a broadcast relay?
No, it doesn't.
I'll handle them.
I want that
You
for the
just find us
soundboard.
that control node. How soon till Infinity hits the gravity well?
A minute or two max. The Covenant are making a push for something on the far side of the satellite.
Oh no, really? Two opposite things to run at and push.
Yes.
We haven't seen that.
Welcome to Halo.
I think that is the most memorable image of me in my head for Halo 4 so far is that button. Pressing that button. I think that's about the 10th of those buttons we pressed, and this is only, what, level 4? It is. Oh, Question Decker says the lines aren't lava, they are exposed Forerunner data net. Or data net. They're trying to catch data fish.
We're checking out their fiber cables, y'all.
So, thermodynamically, the opposite problem.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, right, since the rings and this thing are artificial constructs, I mean, you'd be going to a lot of work for nothing to recreate geological processes like plate tectonics, you know, molten rock. I'm not sure what the point would be.
Oh, I do like disintegrating things like that. Oh, and this is the fuel rod gun.
Oh god, it's huge. It takes up the whole... I mean, wow. I mean, who looked at the FRG and said, you know, that's pretty good, but it doesn't take up enough of the screen when you turn it on. It needs to take up more of the screen.
Now, this is my favorite. This is the boss. This is their version of a sniper rifle that, when headshotted, disintegrates targets. I absolutely love this puppy.
I gotta admit, the magnetic metal piece animation thing is kind of neat, but the designs of the various guns are already running together for me.
It's
to the point that I
similar.
Can't tell the difference between that gun you said was your favorite and that other gun you said you really liked before.
Well, this one, see, because it's got a big sniper scope on it and whatnot.
Okay.
The reticle is definitely different.
So it's two-tone gray with red, and that's two-tone gray with red.
With
but
red.
Next,
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Exactly.
Right. It just looks like that one is closer to your face than the other one.
Indistinct.
Yes. Now we just have to hope we can use it to warn Infinity before it's too late.
Is that what we're
Same
doing?
model, different position.
Yeah, I know, right?
So we're about, I presume, to let out whatever is in this big ball, but Cortana thinks we're turning off a radio. Is that the...
both.
Oh, Lino Cyborg is in the chat.
Hey, Lino.
Lino says some of the pits do contain lava, but those lines probably weren't. I know as some levels in Spartan Ops have it, and the parts of this level I think had pools of it.
Pools of data lava.
Pools of data net. Yes. Data, alien
There we
data
go.
net pools.
No, am I getting up over there? I mean, I hear nasties, but I'm like... I need a waypoint. Where's my map?
See, if this were a marathon, I'd be wanting to step on that as an elevator.
I know, right?
Yes.
Well, me too.
Yes, it looks exactly like it should lift up if you step on it.
Yeah, maybe
it looks
it does.
exactly like
Maybe
that.
It does. Go get him, Space Bug. Yeah, well, look at that. That I absolutely adore.
Also, from an audio perspective, though, that's one of the most understated things. I mean, like firing that didn't make a whole lot of noise, and I think it's just...
It feels great. I mean, look at that.
That elite looks like he's got a human arm for some reason.
Oh, jeez.
Ow.
Okay, kill my... Yep, I actually survived. I survived a suicide grunt.
All you got is this t-shirt.
Yeah, that elite looked like he was a human wearing an elite suit, and he had like one flesh-colored arm sticking out of it.
Yeah, he's got the wife beaters on. It's like, oh my god, why is he not wearing sleeves? Oh, this looks busy, doesn't it?
Sorry, that was another yikes.
Okay, so I think I still have to head up over
you
this
need
way.
to hear this.
Oh, Perseus Spartacus, just curious, what difficulty is Blackstar playing on? Blackstar's
come
playing
on.
on. Blackstar's playing on easy.
You totally know I'm doing easy.
They're not diverting from the opening. Hurry, Chief.
I feel like Cortana has never talked so much and said so little at the same time. Well, yeah, that gun's effective, especially
I love it.
shooting people in the back. And I thought I
it's the
didn't like
safest way.
elite designs in Reach. But these guys are inelegant. Again, I think maybe the cool-looking, elegant, beautiful design enemies they want now to be the Forerunners, and so like they have to double down on Covenant being kind of ugly and brutish. Question Deca says they stole UNSC supplies, including prosthetics. Yes, teleporting enemies.
Oh yeah, I'm not a fan of those at all.
I like the animation.
Oh, the animation's cool. Tactically, it's annoying as fuck.
Yeah, now, is this the first teleporting enemy in Halo? Because, like, Destiny...
Oh, no, these guys have been
Something's not
teleporting
right.
forever. And
Oh, no, but I mean,
on,
is Halo 4 the first Halo
pillars!
game that has a
Touch the
teleporting
pillars!
enemy in it?
I don't know, there's a couple times the elites move around, it feels like that way.
No, they've got an unrealistically fast
Infinity,
dodge.
this
but-
is Sierra 117 of the UNSC forward unto dawn. Do you copy? Infinity, do you read?
Did our counterintelligence AI press the wrong button again?
Chief? Chief, let go of the contacts.
Chief?
Find us an exit.
Don't wait
done
around
effed
on
up.
my account.
Come in peace.
So fades the great harvest of my betrayal. Even these beasts recognize what you were oblivious to, human. Your nobility has blinded you, as ever. The librarian left little to chance, didn't she? Turning my own guardians, my own world, against me. But what hubris to believe she could protect her pets from me forever. If you haven't mastered even these primitives, then man has not attained the mantle. Their ascendance may yet be prevented. Time was your ally, human. But now it has abandoned you. The foreigners have returned. This tomb is now yours.
I will, of course, not kill you outright. I will merely throw you against the wall and trust you to die later.
Slip space rupture! Chief, move! Chief, please. We've gotta go. That Didact, he manipulated Infinity's signal to get us to release him.
I can't hold it anymore.
Get up!
What's happening?
Moving the satellite destabilize the core. The Didact's leaving. We've got to find a portal out of here before the whole network collapses. Grab one of those ghosts.
They're conveniently placed right here
Channel energy
for this particular chase sequence.
Oh, so they're doing the Warthog run in the middle of the game now. Oh. Alright, let me turn that down a little bit.
Keep going! Keep going!
Okay. So, I gotta admit,
where are we going?
I've not kept up on the novels and whatnot. Was that supposed to happen?
I did it on purpose.
Oh, okay, fine.
I wanted to break up the moment.
Wait, is this really the middle of the game?
A bit, I think.
Yeah, it's not the end.
Keep going! Keep going!
I just can't tell if we're on level 4 or 5. That was unintentional.
So, I'm not up on the novels and all the other ancillary materials or this game or the later one, but I do remember that the terminals in Halo 3, you know, they were optional reads, did relate to the story of the Librarian and the Didact and their difference of opinion over defending Forerunners against the Flood, preserving other intelligent life, this kinds of thing. So you got the idea that...
I'm totally lost in where to go. Oh, there we go. I can't make that jump, and yet for some reason it keeps wanting me to make that? I don't get it. And I am hitting left to boost, and it's still screaming to hit left to boost, so it's like, I don't know how much more boost I can give.
Is your control different? Is it telling you the wrong button?
I don't know. I mean, I'm pulling the left trigger, and it is boosting, so it's like... Am I supposed to go even higher? Oh, okay, I just had to angle it, right?
Okay.
Oh, see, the game's taking over. Okay, that's what it is. All right. They're kind of fake jumping it.
Okay, here we go. So, let me catch up on the chat because the chat is relating this.
Oh, they're blowing up.
To it. Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can get this where I can see it.
Emergency broadcast from Infinity.
The Didact is basically Euro from Marathon, but he turns evil. The ISO Didact, a clone of sorts, become a truer version of Euro. The Librarian is the counterpart to Pythia. The Didact in this game isn't the same as the Halo from Terminal. Wait a minute, what? What's the point of setting up the Didact in the terminals in Halo 3 if you then introduce a Didact in the next game and it's not the same person? I mean, I understand Didact is a title, not a name. Also, as a gauntlet, this is visually very uninteresting.
Oh, it's absolutely brutal trying to get through it mechanically, trust me.
I mean, it is monotonous looking.
Oh, and here's the best part, is that right now I'm totally disoriented.
You've got a lot of the mist, and you've got a limited color palettes.
Yep.
And of course, since we're still inside a planet, there's that as well.
Yeah, it's beyond frustrating considering that you can't even rotate very much left or right anymore.
Cowboy!
Whoa, cowboy!
Chief, there!
Yeah, that was very out of character for her.
Yeah.
Of the UNSC Infinity. Unknown entity has seized control of our ship. We're without power. We're on a collision course with an unidentified Forerunner planet.
Track its descent.
Marking. Impact predicted 77.8 kilometers due north.
Does that mean we get a break from all the non-stop action?
No. I don't think so.
You know where he's heading.
Same place we are.
Like, the Infinity seemed so big, it didn't seem like you'd need to track it. And I've always thought, looking at the Didact sphere there, that it was just like, there was concept art hanging around Bungie of the Traveler that just got used. And so we end up having like one big sphere made of metal being essential elements of both Halo 4 and Destiny 1. Okay, so Lion-O says, it's confusing, I know. I think the Halo 3 Didact is a copy of this one made when he gave an imprint to a young Forerunner named Bornstellar. The Halo 4 Didact is the original one. I love how book tie-ins expand the universe, but it's a pain when you have to rely on them for stuff the game's left out. And the funny thing is, it's like, I haven't read all those books, but I read some of them. I read Greg Bear's first one.
I think I read the first one, and that's about it. And I think I have the other ones not only in print, but also in audiobook, and I have not listened to them either.
Yeah, the Didact.
But I think this is...
Should we stop there? Can you not get any further in 30 minutes?
Oh, no, not really. In fact, this strategically, I think, is a good point as far as the story, because this is where things change up. This is where the next whole stage of it goes, and this is, 4 levels in out of 10. So, I think this would be an apropos moment to end the stream. And any final thoughts from anyone? Because I know chat's been blowing up. Sorry, I haven't had a chance to pay attention because I'm driving.
I feel like action fatigue. Like there was just like no...
Too much jiggle cam
from that, right? Yeah, and it's just like I miss the sort of expansiveness that Halo 1 had.
Yeah, like Halo.
Yeah, it's the pacing's
Halo
way
1's
different.
First level has a lot of frenetic action in it, but then it slows down at the first, at the next level, basically, like, if you just stay inside that ship, there's a long gap before the next enemy happens. Like, it waits for you to wander away before anything happens, and it doesn't feel like there's ever a moment to pause in this, like in those games.
There's very little, expandability. There's very little feel of you being in this giant place. It feels very narrow and linear. It almost feels bridge-like.
It feels small.
Very, very small. And because all those gaps where you had a lot of wandering around and exploring and check things out, it's no good. In fact, Ariel Wilson says, no pacing. Absolutely, there is no pacing. It hits the gas and doesn't stop, and I am not a fan of that. I don't mind a level of that, but
people keep
4
using
levels
the phrase non-stop action to promote something, not realizing that non-stop action is not interesting.
No, it wears down on you.
No.
It bores you.
Yeah.
You become numb to it. And sadly,
I'm exhausted just watching you play.
And in a tiny screen, I can't imagine what the jiggling looks like for you right now. It must be insane.
Well, it's not tiny. The resolution is low, but it's blown up on my monitor.
Yeah, and bottom line is that whole ghost run thing, it was totally unnecessary. That was just silly. It had no purpose and no point.
It seemed like padding.
Total. And the fact that literally you can't even turn the ghost left or right now. There's no maneuverability at all.
It was like a railgun scenario then. Huh?
Oh, completely. And anytime that you needed to turn, you couldn't. So it's like you're failing for not pointing in the right direction when you started. Bob Roberts says, I prefer the coup and train racing from the crossing like in the 20s and 30s. You think?
Oh, and Line says the game label on YouTube was Moon Hunters.
Moon Hunters, you forgot to change it. So.
No, I did change it. It did not take.
It did not take.
Yeah,
thanks, YouTube.
As happens quite often.
All right, well, thank you for tuning in to watch our stream of Halo's Moon Hunters edition. Please stay tuned until our next exciting broadcast. Please stay tuned for our scheduling for the next exciting chapter when we continue on with that. I am Blackstar, he is Narc, she is Leah Crow, we are Rampancy, and we certainly hope to catch you all next time. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Where are we?
And so you come at last.
Cortana, what is it?
We are Forerunners, guardians of all that exists. Humanity stands as the greatest threat in the galaxy. The Forerunners have returned.